Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you clicked on this video, I'm just telling you right now that I love you and I'm coming from such a place of love, because if you clicked on this video, you're curious if you are dating a male that is a narcissist, or if who you are dating and in love with and possibly planning your future with is a narcissist. And I'm just gonna be really honest, upfront, and straight with you that if truly the male that you are dating is a narcissist, then you are in trouble. Because as I was starting my journey into reading and researching about narcissism and how that affects our happiness and joy, I stumbled upon the dating aspect of it, right? And the relationships that come from narcissism. And I was like, hold the phone. I have dated so many narcissistic men, and had I only realized that and recognized that what I was going through were the effects of narcissism, I could have saved myself so much pain and torment and misery. And so forgive me for being blunt today. I just have to get it out there that these are the tips that you need to take if you want to free yourself from a narcissistic relationship and know if the man that you're dating is a narcissist. So my beautiful ladies, let's dive right into these tips. So ladies, if you're new to my channel, my name is Abby J. I'm a life coach, and I am bound and determined to help women put more joy and happiness into their lives. And so if you stumbled on this video and you're wondering, well, what even is a narcissist and what are they like? I'm going to link for you below some of my videos that I've already done on narcissism so that you can get a foundation level for what we're talking about when I go into these tips. But if you've already seen those videos, fantastic. Let's hit the like button, subscribe on this one, and let's dive right into these tips, which my first one for you is to, one, take a look at how your date is treating you. So for me, when I was reading about like all these traits of narcissistic men, I realized like red flag after red flag of past boyfriends, of like the behaviors that they had that I just thought were like, were high school or were their personality, and I just had to get used to it, that I realize now were narcissism. And so you need to take a look at some of these behaviors. Is the person that you're dating, or is your boyfriend, your spouse, your partner, somebody that it's all about them? First and foremost, everything that you do, say, always comes back to how it's going to benefit them and what it's going to do for them in their life. Are they somebody that lacks empathy? Now, this can look different in dating, because you're like, well, no, they're very loving and kind, and oh, they're just like so romantic with me. That's not so much empathy. Empathy is that, like, do they feel for other people? Do they care that their actions have an effect on another person, namely yourself? Have you sometimes been a little bit shocked by like how rude, how thoughtless, how just uncaring that your partner was at something, or they just had like zero disregard for your feelings? That might be a red flag of narcissism. Also, this one's so hard for my wonderful ladies out there, but is he a charmer? Is he somebody that is so charismatic, so popular, just knows how to wine and dine you? For me, this is the factor that kept me coming back to all of my exes that I felt were like narcissistic in their behaviors, because man, they just knew the perfect text to send me, or they just knew exactly what to say to make me melt, right? And that's because they are so self-confident, and we as women, we love that, we crave that. We want to be with a man that is confident and so sure of himself. And when he feels like he needs to reel you in, it's such a boost to his ego to be so macho and to be Prince Charming. And so take a look and see if these are some of the traits that you are seeing in your significant other. Obviously, there's more. There's, a grandiose sense of self. They're very prideful. It always has to be about them, which I mentioned earlier, but also, like, have you noticed that maybe your partner really cares if you look really great for a date? That is another huge red flag of narcissism in your dating, I almost said companion, in who you are dating. So take a look, because that step one is to just stop and think about, have I seen any of these red flags in the man that I am dating? My second tip is for you to ask yourself a very serious but sincere question. Who in this relationship is in love more? Now, I know that that's maybe something that's crossed your mind. It's not something we love to talk about, but definitely in a relationship, especially when you're starting out, there's definitely one person that like is more invested in this relationship than the other person. And eventually you get to the level where you're both, you know, so committed and so in love, and it's not like I love my husband more than he loves me. We love each other like exponentially, right? But when you're dating, especially like when you have a boyfriend, you can kind of tell like, yeah, man, he's got me wrapped around his finger, or man, he is so into me and I'm still kind of like figuring stuff out, but I love dating him, right? That sometimes can be a sign of narcissism when they always feel like they have the upper hand because you are more into them than they appear into you. So if you are always the one like initiating things or having to, you know, kind of poke and prod and flirt and see if, you know, they're going to give you their attention today, that's a huge red flag. That means that this person like can't even be into you enough to like show it, right? And for a narcissistic male, it's all about their ego. And so it's all about like, oh, she's so into me, and oh, like all these girls really like me. And so that's something that you need to look at and really take a step back and say like, do I like this person more than they like me? Because the narcissistic person will never let you have that like leg up on them that, oh, I totally know they're so into me right now, right? It's always a little mysterious, and it's always just a little bit back and forth on if this person really cares for you. So that is a huge red flag that you need to look for in the person that you're dating. My third tip for you is kind of more of another question to ask yourself. This video is a little bit more about self-reflection than it is about actual like, do this step and this will work. But does your partner seem to be interested in or flirting with other women? For a narcissistic male, it's not enough to just have like one girl think that you are the whole world and the love of her life, right? He wants to feel like he has a lot of girls on the line. He wants to feel like he is, you know, the apple of the eye of a lot of different ladies. And so this can be one of the most hurtful and damaging like parts of being in love with a narcissist, is because they're not above like flirting with somebody else. And that's this combination of like a lack of empathy and compassion for your feelings as their girlfriend or as their significant other or even as their date, as they are about like the thrill of, oh, this girl thinks I'm so hot, or, you know, I'm just flirting. And so for me, in my experience, like, yeah, the boys that I dated that were narcissists cheated on me repeatedly. And one, I feel like I had a low self-esteem to like keep coming back to that, but also like it was just this unbelievable like aspect of like, really, could they really be flirting with that many girls, or could they really be texting or writing us both at the same time? Like, it just seemed unfathomable to me because I'm a hopeless romantic, right? And I was like, no, I'm gonna choose to assume the best in other people because that's one of my life hacks that I believe in and use, right? But it doesn't work with a narcissist. They are going to do whatever it takes to feel better about themselves. They're gonna do whatever it takes to get the praise and admiration of other people. And for a man to have multiple women like you and to think that you are sexy and like wonderful is the ultimate ego boost. So be looking for that. Or if you're already like sensing that in somebody that you're dating, or you just feel like, man, it's always just like me and this other girl and he's got us both on the string, that might be a sign of a seriously narcissistic male. And my last tip that I'll include in this video for sake of time is your significant other or the male that you're dating into you more when you've done something spectacular, or when you have, you know, dressed up a little bit more? That sounds a little weird and I didn't put it very elegantly, but perfect example. So when I was dating one of my boyfriends that I would classify as highly narcissistic, and I didn't know it at all, he would be so aloof, and he would, you know, not text me, not talk to me, barely act like he liked me and knew me, until I was named Sterling Scholar, or until I did a lot of plays in theater. And man, I knew that I had like crushed it and done an incredible job on stage when this boy would be the first one there to give me a hug and just tell me, oh, you did so amazing, and oh, can I take you to ice cream? And he was so into me when I was shining. Which, guess what? It's easy to love somebody when they're shining, when they are their best selves, when we can see their true elements of who they are and see their talents, right? How many of us haven't like fallen in love with a singer when we're like, oh, their voice is so amazing, right? Well, the same is true of a narcissist. Who they are with boosts their ego. So when you shine, they shine by being with you. So on the flip side of this, because you're like, oh, that's fine. I love it when people are nice to me when I do great things. But on the flip side of this, when you're just like an average normal person, or maybe you're sick, or maybe you've had a surgery and you're just like not on your A game, or guess what? Just everyday living. Like, you might look cute and hot and just be your normal, fun, bubbly self, but if you aren't the star of the show that day, they're not as into you. And to me, that is such a devastating reality to come to, because we want to believe that the people that we like and love and choose to be in relationships with love us no matter what. And ladies watching this video, they should. You absolutely should be with somebody that loves you on your worst days and your best days, and not any better or worse, but they love you the same. And so if you see that in your partner, that they really are into you when you shine, they really only come around when you are just being spectacular or are wearing that sexy new dress, then that is a huge, huge red flag that they are a major narcissist, and that you need to more than likely get out of that relationship if you want to increase your happiness and joy. So ladies, I've shared with you some pointers and red flags to look at when you think that you're dating a narcissistic male. And I really hope that some of you, that this is like pricking your heart or making you think of certain instances, that you'll take a serious look at that. I'm not saying that if your boyfriend's done one of these things that he is like a narcissist and you need to break up with him immediately. But I'm saying if like these tips resonated with you and you have that little gut feeling of, ooh, yeah, that might be me, I hope you act on that. And so my last little just recap of this video, I'm not saying that you have to break up with anybody. You might be really head over heels in love with these people, but I am saying that if you want the happiness and joy in life that you deserve, then this person more than likely is not the right person for you. You need to find somebody that makes you feel like an all-star all the time, that is fine, that their world revolves around you, right? And that your world revolves around them, and it's just mutual, and that you have such trust and love for each other. That's the relationship we want. And if you are dealing with some of these red flags, that's not the relationship you're gonna get with a narcissist. So that's my tough love for you. I'm not like saying like call your boyfriend right now and break up with him, but I'm just saying be real with yourself and be serious about what you want out of life, because I promise you, you don't want to be married to a narcissist. You don't want to spend the rest of your life with a narcissist, and you definitely don't want to parent with a narcissist. But more on that in other videos, but I thank you so much for watching this one. Like I said, I've done some other videos on narcissism, so I'm going to be sure to link those down below for you so you can look at like traits of what narcissistic people are like, if you maybe have some narcissistic fleas, and what you can do about it. So thank you again for watching. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I love to read what you say. I truly take it to heart, and give me video suggestions. I'll do anything that you suggest and I think has great value for my viewers out there. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Abby J out.